Hello students, today I am going to try and simplify the concept of utility. Now as we move forward, I am going to put forward certain image in front of you. You are going to take time, think about which one is better, and then keep that in your mind. Let us start. Here we have Nokia 3310 model. The advantage of this phone is it gives you a better battery life. Second, we have iPhone X, which is latest model, and you have internet, WhatsApp, etc. You take your time, you may decide, you may like Nokia or you may like iPhone as well. It's your choice. Okay, let's move ahead. I'll give you second image. Here we have a cupboard made out of wood, which has, I think, a bed and a lot of shelves. Well, next image shows me, oh my god, this is just wood. Okay, so here it's very easy to pick up, right? Yeah, if you're creative, you'll go ahead with woods, or else you'll stick to ready-made material. Definitely I'll go with ready-made material. Fine, there I picked one mobile, which was latest one. Here I picked this ready-made furniture. Let's move ahead. Oh my god, definitely we are not going to select this. It's an injection. Oh, thank god. Fine, now if you have seen these images, from every image you picked up one of it, right? So what were these images all about, and what you understand by this concept of utility? What is the relationship between the images that were shown and the concept of utility? Let us see. Here it says, utility is the capacity of a commodity to satisfy human wants. To simplify this, we can say utility is the want satisfying power of a commodity. That means when I look at the new phone, at that time I felt that I want this updated phone and not the Nokia 3310, right? Same way, when I saw wood and furniture, I preferred furniture. It had that power, the furniture had that power which was saying that you need me, right? Fine. Same way, when I saw injection and I saw fruits, I felt fruits has those positive power which is attracting me towards it. So utility is nothing but the want satisfying power of the commodity. That means moment I get that cupboard, I get that iPhone, I get that furniture or cupboard, I'll be satisfied. So that is the meaning of utility. Utility word has derived from the term utilization. So if I find a product which I feel that I'll be able to utilize it in the better way, I'll say that this particular product has utility for me. So let's take one step ahead. Once you have understood the concept of utility, utility is nothing but want satisfying power of a commodity. Then why is it important to understand the concept of utility? Utility analysis explains a consumer behavior in relation to maximization of satisfaction. There are too many concepts in it. Consumer behavior in relation to maximization of satisfaction. Let's take a case study now. Here, let's imagine that while making payment, your electricity payment, you earned certain points. Let's say you are near about 50,000 points. Now, government has come up with a scheme. You can redeem these points by getting PSP or a mobile phone or a bike, BMW bike. Okay, but to redeem each one of these you will require 25,000 coins. You have 50,000 coins. Now you think which one would be better for you, PSP, a mobile phone, or a bike? Well, few may have selected PSP and mobile phone. Few might have thought it's better to invest in assets, so I'll go ahead with bike and mobile phone. So here if you see, when we analyze the want satisfying power of a commodity, when we analyze the power of PSP, when we analyze the power of mobile phone, when we analyze the want satisfying power of a bike, and we try to understand the human behavior, how the person thinks before acquiring that particular object, is termed as utility analysis. Now, moving ahead, let us understand the following points. First point says, every individual tries to satisfy his wants with available resources. You might agree with that. In a limited salary, your parents try to satisfy maximum wants of your family. That's what the first point says. Every individual tries to satisfy his want with available resources. All human wants cannot be satisfied fully at specific time. That means all your wants cannot be fulfilled at a given period of, or at a given point of time. Definitely you have different wants. You want car, you want bungalow, you want bike, you want best gym equipped in your house. Everything cannot be satisfied at once. What you have to do is you have to analyze. You have to analyze, and then you have to think which and how you are going to acquire each and every commodity. Like in the case study, you decided I'll go ahead with mobile phone and bike. Maybe that will benefit me. Or you might think that I should look at the current situation. I'm interested in PSP and mobile phone. So utility analysis explains a consumer behavior in relation to maximization of satisfaction. Why do we understand the concept of utility? So that we can understand how can I get my maximum level of satisfaction. Now let's move ahead. Now that you have understood the concept of utility, in a simple word we say utility is the want satisfying power of the commodity. Still, if we understand the additional features, you will be in a better position to understand the concept of utility. Our first point over here is relative concept. Utility is related to time and place. Let us understand how. Let's take an example of umbrella. When is the time where you need umbrella the most? Undoubtedly, you will say in the rainy season. Same way, if I ask you, when is the time when you feel to have ice cream the most? Definitely, it will be summer season. So when the utility power or the want satisfying power of a commodity increases during a specific period of time, we say that utility is a related concept. It is related to time. Same way, utility is related to place. For example, water. In the desert area, you might feel utility for water a lot. But in a place where there is ample of water around you, you might not feel that much need of the water. Let's take another point. It says utility is a subjective concept. Due to difference in taste, preferences, likes, dislikes, nature, habits, profession, etc. In human being, the utility is differed from person to person. That means a person might feel that he needs that particular product the most, but the other person might feel I don't want that product. It does not have that want satisfying power in it. Let's talk about a simple example which we took earlier about Nokia 3310 phone. If you try to give the same phone to old person in your family, the person will be happy. Why? Because for him the mobile phone is simple to understand and simple to operate. Same way, if you try to give doctor's apparatus, if you try to give a doctor's stethoscope to a teacher or to a lawyer, he or she might think that this is of no use to me, but it is used to a specific profession, that is doctors. So utility is also termed as a psychological concept. That means it differs from person to person because of difference in taste, likes, habits, etc. Next point says utility is ethically neutral concept, which means utility is morally colorless concept. This means when you have utility for a particular commodity, it's not necessary that it is good for you or it is bad for you. For example, knife. If a person has utility for a knife, if a person demands for a knife, it may be used for a good reason for cutting fruits, vegetables, or it may be used for killing someone. Same way, if you have utility for a toy gun, it may be used for playing, or it might happen that you have taken it to injure someone. So utility does not see whether something is morally right or wrong. It is ethically neutral concept. So here we have understood three features. That is, it is a relative concept, it is subjective concept, it is ethically neutral concept. Let's repeat once again. RSE, relative concept, because it is related to time and place. Subjective concept, because it is subjected to person, and next, ethically neutral. We cannot say the utility of a particular commodity is good or a bad, because commodity will be having a neutral power in it. It depends on the person, how he is or she is using that particular commodity. Now let's move to next three features. Yeah, utility differs from usefulness. Usefulness indicates value in use of the commodity. That means we can say certain thing is useful to me when it adds value to your life. For example, liquor, tobacco, or for that matter cold drink, are they good for your health? No, they are not useful, but still it has utility. Utility is the want satisfying power, whereas usefulness indicates the value which is added in the commodity. Utility differs from pleasure. There are certain commodities which possess utility but may not give you pleasure. For example, injection. When you are sick, you will have the utility that I should get injection and I should get better. Will you have the pleasure while taking the injection? No. Same goes for medicines. Same goes for tax. When you are earning, you might feel, why should I pay the tax? But at the same time, same tax has been used for the benefit of the society. So in the last slide, we saw utility is a relative concept, subjective concept, and ethically neutral. Here we have seen utility differs from usefulness, utility differs from pleasure, utility differs from satisfaction. Satisfaction is the end result, whereas utility is the want satisfying power. Moving to next point. We have 3 more to go. Utility depends on the intensity of wants. That means utility of a particular product will be more during the specific period of time. The intensity of that want will be more during this specific period of time. So let's take an example of food. When you are hungry, you will have more utility for food. When you are fulfilled, when you are filled, will you ask for more food? No. Same way during exams. When the exams comes near, you will ask, there will be utility for more notes, more importance, right? And once the exam is gone, you will feel you don't have utility for those importance. So utility depends on the intensity of wants. Next, utility is multi-purpose. There are few products which fulfills your more than one wants. For example, electricity. For example, water. For example, fire, and in current situation, even mobile phone. Let's read the slide. Electricity can be used to serve many purpose and for many people at some point of time. That means any product that can satisfy more than one want. We can say there are certain products which can be used for multiple purpose. Let's go to next point. It says utility is based on demand. Utility is base of demand. A person will demand a commodity only if it gives utility to him. You will demand for a particular product only if you find that particular product has the power to attract you towards it. When we spoke about Xbox, bike, or mobile phone, these 3 commodities had a power in it which said that if you get those commodity, you will be satisfied. Now that's when you think that I have to demand, I want to demand, I'll try to get this product. Either I'll go ahead with Xbox or PlayStation and mobile phone, or I'll go with mobile phone and bike, or I'll go with bike and PlayStation, any which ways that you want. So here we have seen 9 features of utility. Let's move ahead and understand the different types of utility. Now this is the last concept that we are going to cover, which is comparatively easy to what you have done so far. So remember students, features of utility is one of the important question from your exam point of view. Coming to types of utility, this question usually comes in objectives. Now, first is form utility. When utility is created due to change in shape or structure of an existing material, it is called formed utility. Let us go back to our example of furniture. When you saw woods, raw woods, you felt that this won't be helpful to me. I'll have to work day in and day out on it to make something out of it. But at the same time, when we change that wood into a furniture, automatically the demand for it, or the utility, the one satisfying power of that commodity changed. So when utility is created due to change in the shape or structure of an existing material, it is called as form utility. You can take example of furniture. You can take example of a car. Spare parts, if you look at the car, you won't feel like taking the car. But if it is manufactured, definitely you will go ahead with it. So that is your form utility. Next is place utility. When utility of a commodity increases due to change in its place, it is called place utility. Let's talk about coconut water. Coconut water in south will have utility which will be less compared to Mumbai. That's why when we go ahead and we try to check out the price, in south you will get coconut for 10 rupees. Same coconut you will find in Mumbai for 60 rupees. Why? Because there is a demand, there is utility for that particular product. Now how is this gap filled? This gap, how is this coconut water taken from south and brought to Mumbai? Through transportation. So transport creates place utility. Next is service utility. Service utility arises when personal services are rendered by various professionals. Service utility requires a professional person who is supposed to be present, and he needs a person who wants that particular service to be present at that moment of time. Only then the service utility takes place. So what is service utility? Service utility arises when personal services are given by various professions. Here you have seen red markings on the slide, which are often asked in objectives. Especially place utility, you have to remember it is related to transport. Form utility, it is related to change in the shape and structure of an object. Next is knowledge utility. Let's take an example. You might not know how to use a guitar, and if someone is giving you guitar for free, will you take it? Definitely maximum of them will think no, because I don't know it, as it is it will be lying somewhere. But if you have the knowledge, then definitely you will have utility for that commodity. So let us read. When a consumer acquires knowledge about a particular product, then utility increases, then it is called as knowledge utility. Let's talk about mobile phone and old people. The people who cannot operate properly, they might feel I don't want a specific type of mobile phone. But if you have clear knowledge about how to operate new gadgets, then definitely you won't be satisfied with the dummy piece or with the mobile phone which will cater to basic needs of attending phone calls. Next, possession utility. Possession utility arises when the ownership of good is transferred from one person to another. It might happen with you, or it will happen with you at a time. You might be using your friend's motorcycle. You won't be satisfied. Why? You might be thinking, I want to own a motorcycle for myself. Now, this power of motorcycle which is attracting you towards purchasing it is your possession utility. So possession utility arises when the ownership of goods is transferred. That means once you purchase a particular product, then you will be satisfied. Till then you won't be satisfied. That is your possession utility. Next concept is time utility. When the utility of a commodity increases with a change in its time of utilization, is called as time utility. Example, you won't like to read maybe 4, 5, 6 months before exam, but definitely when the exams are near, maybe 1 week prior to exams, you will definitely have that utility for it. Same way it goes for your umbrella, woolen, blanket, etc. So here we have seen so far 6 types of utility: place utility, time utility, knowledge utility, possession utility, okay, service utility, etc. The concept were taken from HSC government textbook and Google Images. Thank you so much for listening to this patiently and hope to see you soon.